Hey y'all, it's Angie. Welcome back to my channel and thanks for joining me. Today, I thought I would share with you guys the makeup look I do pretty much every single day to go to work. And so I like to do just a simple look that doesn't take a lot of time, but also makes me look and feel good about myself at work. So if this interests you, stick around. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you'll get notifications every time I put a new video up. So let's get started. The first thing I want to say is this is not going to be some elaborate makeup tutorial. I'm not a makeup artist. I just love makeup and I love skincare and love to play around with it. So I'm not going to be teaching any difficult techniques. Once again, this is just an easy, put together makeup look I do every day for work that makes me look and feel good about myself. So the first thing that we're gonna start out with, I got this Vitamin Enriched Face Base from Bobbi Brown. It's a sample size. I think I got it from Sephora, and I've been trying this out and I really like it, so I'm going to use this as my primer. It is also, it says it's an all-in-one primer and a moisturizer. So let me put some of this on. I am 43 years old. I have hyperpigmentation. I have enlarged pores. I have some different sunspots on my face. I deal with redness. My skin is pretty sensitive, and so I get red quite a bit. All right, we'll let that sink in for just a minute. My skin is probably combination, but it tends to get pretty oily during the day in my T-zone. So in my nose, really on my cheeks on either side of my nose and on my forehead. And I tend to get oily on my chin as well. So I'm fighting that a lot. The next product I like to use is this product from e.l.f. I think this was $2. It's a color correcting stick. It's green, so that offsets any redness. So I just like to use this if I have any blemishes or any redness that's really popping out. I will just kind of spot treat those places with this stick before I put my foundation on. I tend to get really red right around my nostrils. And so I always put some of this green stick around my nostrils, and I'm just buffing it in with my fingertip. All right, there we go. So the next thing I do is I put on a foundation. I have the L'Oreal Paris Infallible up to 24-hour fresh wear foundation. I am in the shade 445 Vanilla. This is such a beautiful foundation. It has a sunscreen in it of SPF 25. It's 1 fluid ounce, and it has a pump, which I really like. And I always just like to start out with 1 pump on my hand. And I'll take a kabuki brush. This is a kabuki brush. And I like to do a thin layer first. So I'll just dab a little bit on my brush. And I start in the places that I need the most coverage. So it's gonna be in my cheek area. and I just apply a thin layer of foundation, and I do it in kind of a stippling motion, just kind of pressing it into my skin. You could use a beauty blender if you wanted to, but I like to apply my foundation with a brush. And once I dab that in, I'm really gonna buff it out and make sure it looks even. I start with a really thin layer, and then I'll go in and add more if I need to. I always make sure I go over on my ear and into my hairline, and I bring it down onto my neck. This is a really good shade match for me. And this is a drugstore foundation, so you can find it at your local drugstore, at Walmart, at Target, at Ulta. It's a great foundation. It's the one I reach for on a day-to-day basis. Make sure I get up into my hairline. And so I have a thin layer on, but I'll go back in and address it, kind of build it up on any areas that I feel like I need a little more coverage. This is a medium coverage foundation. And it's very natural and skin-like. It's not too heavy. And it's just beautiful on my skin. I don't put it directly underneath my eyes because I go in with concealer underneath my eyes. And I don't want to put too many layers underneath my eyes of makeup because it tends to look cakey on me when I do that. There we go, it looks nice and blended in, and I didn't even use a full pump. That's the amount of foundation I apply because I don't like to look cakey throughout the day. So the next thing I apply is a concealer. My under eyes, they're dry, yet it seems like they become oily throughout the day, and my bottom lash mascara can smudge underneath and my fine lines and wrinkles come through. And I've been trying out this Tarte Creaseless concealer based on a recommendation from a friend, and I am loving this concealer. This is just the travel size, and I got it from Ulta, and I was glad to do that, get the mini versions and not have to pay the full price so I could test it out. But this is one that I will probably definitely be buying the full size of. And I don't use a whole lot of concealer underneath my eyes at all, just about this much. And I like to go in first with my finger and just kind of work that into my under eyes. I try not to get too close to my bottom lash line because I do have some wrinkles there, and I don't want my concealer settling into those wrinkles. Oh. This shade, let me see here if it says on here what shade this is. 20 neutral, I think, maybe. I don't know if that's the right number or not. But I just work it in, and the warmth of my finger kind of helps it to melt right onto the skin under my eyes. Okay, Okay, after I buff it in with my finger, I like to take a dampened beauty blender and just buff it in. And this also helps to take off any excess from my eyes. This concealer's been working great for me because it doesn't seem to settle too bad into the wrinkles underneath my eyes, and it does not look cakey. It doesn't dry. It's very hydrating, and it's just working great for me. This is one of the best concealers I've tried. I've tried the Tarte Shape Tape, and it was just a little too drying for me, and didn't look great. So this one, it's the Tarte Creaseless. It's been doing a great job. Okay, after I do that, I go back with my finger and just kind of tap underneath into those lines that I have, just to make sure it's not settling. And then I like to set my concealer and my foundation with a setting powder. And the setting powder I've been using is this one from Becca. It's called the Hydra-Mist Set and Refresh Powder. And this is so awesome. I think I got this in one of my BoxyCharm boxes. I did. I know I got it in my BoxyCharm box. And this is the most amazing product. I broke the lid off of it. I like to use this Morphe brush. It's a larger powder brush, but it's really soft and flexible. And I get just a little bit of it on this brush, tap any excess off, and just pat it underneath my eyes and onto my cheeks where I tend to get oily throughout the day. And this setting powder, when you put it on, it feels wet, but it's not wet. It's hydrating throughout the day. It has some great products in it, and it really works to set down my makeup and control any shine that I might have throughout the day. And then I like to put some on my forehead as well. If you haven't tried this setting powder, I suggest that you try it. It's really awesome. The first time I tried it, I was like, whoa, what is this? It feels wet on your skin, but it's not wet. I just can't even imagine what this technology is. All right, and on it, you wanna make sure that you close it back. I think I broke the lid on it. Hopefully I can get it back in there. All right, so I have my foundation and my concealer set. The next thing I like to do is go in with a bronzer. And I'm not gonna use it to contour my face. I just like to add some bronze, some more color to my face. I'm using the Maybelline New York City bronzer. It says bronzer and contour powder, but I'm using it to bronze. It is in the color 200. And I will take this brush is from e.l.f, and dab some on, tap off any excess, and I start on my cheeks and just add some color. I'll add a line and then do a swirling motion with the brush just to buff it in. And then I go onto my forehead and stamp some on my forehead to add some color. Just anywhere the sun is going to hit you, bronzer is great to add there. Just give yourself a little bit of color. I like to go on my jawline and bring it down onto my neck. And then I love to add a really pretty blush over this one. This is the Milani Luminoso brush. Oh, this is so pretty. It has a tad bit of shimmer in it, and it's like a really pretty light coral color. I use the same brush I used with my bronzer and just kind of dab the bronzer off of it. And use this brush, and I'm gonna stamp it on my cheek and then swish it up. Isn't that pretty? See, it has a little bit of shine, but it's not glittery. I like to use an angled brush for my blush. It just seems to apply easier when I do that. Oh, that's so pretty. I love it. Okay, the next thing I will do is apply an eye primer on my eye and let it sit for just a minute. I really love the Milani eye primer. Most of the products I'm using today are drugstore, not all of them, but most of them. And I just use my finger once again and smooth this all over my eyelid. It has a little bit of a tint to it, not a lot, but it helps with any redness that I have. And it also helps, to fill in those wrinkles and create a smooth surface for my eyeshadow. And it helps it to last a long time, last all day. I don't tend to have time to do too many touch-ups during the day. If I do, it's usually just my lips, and so I really want my makeup to last all day, and that's what I love about the L'Oreal foundation and the other makeup products that I'm showing you right now. So let that sit for just a minute, and while it sits, I like to take my eyebrow brush and just brush out any powder or foundation from my eyebrows. I have gotten microblading done on my eyebrows. So naturally, that's semi-permanent makeup, tattooed on makeup. Naturally, I have really blonde eyebrows that are very sparse. So I chose to get microblading done, and I absolutely love it. I know exactly the shape that my eyebrows are supposed to be, and it doesn't take me but like that to do them. Usually, like on the weekends, I don't even do anything to my eyebrows, but during the week, I like to take a brow gel because your hair does grow in over the microblading. And so I like to take this brow gel. It's called Gimme Brow from Benefit, and this is a trial size too, a mini. And I just like to put it on my eyebrows just to tame those hairs a little bit and make sure that they stay in place all day. So I'm just going to smooth some. And it's been a while since I had my microblading done, and so there are spots that look a little sparse, and this helps to fill those spots in. So very quick and easy. I don't have to draw on my eyebrows and fill them in and do all that stuff. I just use a brow gel to tame those little hairs that I have growing. With my microblading, like I said, your hair still grows in over the tattooed on color, and so I still about once every 4 to 5 weeks get my eyebrows waxed. And I try to groom them and pluck them. It looks like I need to right now. I have some hairs growing in. But other than that, it's that easy. Just brush them in. There we go. Okay, so brows are done. Now let's go to eyes. I'm gonna come back with that same bronzer that I used on my face, and I'm actually gonna use this on my eyes as a transition color. So I just like to take a fluffy brush. This is a crease brush from Luxie. It's the Luxie 231 small tapered blending brush. And I like to get some on the brush, tap off any excess, and then just put some in the crease where I'm creating a little bit of shadow on my lid. I'm going right above my lid, right into that crease and up onto my brow bone, just to add a little bit of color. And I can come back in and add a little more to make it just a little deeper. All right, then what I have been using lately, I've really started loving cream shadows. And I have this cream shadow, it's a Revlon ColorStay. It's in the shade 730 Praline. And here is what it looks like. It's got a tad bit of shimmer in it. And I use a flat brush, a cream shadow brush, and I just apply this to my lid. My dog's knocking, trying to come in, if you hear that. And just pat it all over my lid. Isn't that pretty? Gives a little bit of shimmer, not a whole lot. It's not glitter. And it's just a beautiful, bright color for my lid. And then I can come back in if I want to add a little bit more to it, a little more depth to it. And I go right up to the line of my crease, applying this. It goes on so easy and quick. There's nothing to it. That's what I'm loving about cream shadows right now. I have two from Revlon and I got one from Charlotte Tilbury as well, and I love them. Oops, drop the lid. Okay, and then I take a pencil brush and go back to my bronzer, and I'm using it on my eyes. And I just carve out my crease just a little more with this pencil brush, using that bronzer. So I'm just going on the outer third of my eye and defining my crease and the outer corner just a little bit more. And I also bring it down underneath my eye. All right, and then go back with my blending brush and just blend it all together so I don't have any harsh lines and it looks like it's blended well. Okay, there we go. There's all I do to my eyes with shadow. Then I like to take it's not white. This is actually it's from NYX. It's called It's from NYX. It's called Faux Whites, and it's in the color Linen. And I like to use this color, a lighter color, in my waterline of my lower lashes. And just add it on my waterline. if you notice, it just seems to open up my eyes a little bit more and make me look a little more awake. So I always add this to my bottom waterline. And then I take my pencil eyeliner. This is from Urban Decay. It's the 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in the color Corrupt. And it's just a deep brown. And I like to line my upper waterline with this color. I don't like a really thick line of eyeliner on my eyes. I don't know why. I'm just not into that anymore. But I do on the outer corner. I like to kind of create a baby wing and come up over the top of my upper lashes just a little bit. And one of the reasons I do this is my eyeliner tends to smudge. I don't know if it's because my eyes are oily, my lids are oily, or what, but with a pencil, my eyeliner always tends to smudge a little bit. And so that's why I just do my lash line and then like maybe not even half of my top lid with a pencil liner. And I always go back in with my pencil brush, and I take my pencil brush that still has a little bit of product on it, and I always smudge that eyeliner with my pencil brush. And this seems to help it last longer throughout the day. And it doesn't smudge as much. There we are. And then I take my eyelash curler and I'm going to curl my lashes. I hold for 10 seconds and then I'll pump 5 times. I always curl my lashes. Hold for 10 seconds and then pump 5 times. Okay, and then I love using this, it's from L'Oreal, it's the Voluminous Base. It's your lash primer, that's what it is. I always use a lash primer. Number one, I think that it helps my lashes to look thicker and longer and fuller. And it helps my mascara to stay on. So I always use this lash primer from L'Oreal. And just put a quick coat on my upper and lower lashes. Try not to get it all over myself. It is white, so you can see it on your lashes, but your mascara is going to cover that, and that helps me know too where I should put my mascara. Okay, a mascara that I've been using here lately that I absolutely love. This is a mini, it's a trial size. It's from Hourglass, and it's the Caution Extreme Lash Mascara in Ultra Black. And the reason I have been loving this is because it seems like it makes my eyelashes look a mile long, and it gives them volume and fullness, and it's just one of the best mascaras that I've ever tried, and I've tried a lot of them. I'll start out with my top lashes and put one coat on. I really like how this mascara separates my lashes. And then I'll put a coat on my bottom lashes. I don't put a lot, just enough where you can see them. And then I move on to the other eye and do the same thing. Oh, this mascara is so good. When I run out of this mascara, I will probably be buying a full size or another trial size. I really like the trial sizes. And then I always put a second coat on my top lashes because I just like them to look long and full, and you know what I mean. And this helps to get any lashes, little lashes that I might have missed the first time. I really like the way this mascara separates my lashes and they don't look clumpy. Some people like that clumpy look, but not me. Oh, this mascara is so good. So good. Okay. Now on to lips. I love this NYX lip pencil. It's in the color Nude Suede Shoes. I will line my lips. And then I love to add a nice nude lipstick to wear every day. This one is from Revlon. It's in the color Bare Affair 044. These have to be the best lipsticks in the world. They're drugstore, they're really affordable, and they're so creamy and luxurious feeling. And this is just the perfect nude shade. There we go. And finally, I love to put a little bit of gloss on in the morning. I love the Milani. This is the Milani, what do they call these? They're the lip plumper. It doesn't have that on here, but anyway, these are the lip plumper lip glosses, and I have it in the color Natural Luster 15. And these glosses, they are fabulous. They feel like they add moisture to your lips. And shine, just that perfect shine. And because it's a lip plumper, it just plumps your lips up a little bit. I usually just put on a little bit right in the center of my bottom and my top lip. Rub that together, and there you go. This is the look I create pretty much on a daily basis for going to work. It's pretty simple. It doesn't take a long time. I was talking you through most of my steps, so of course it's gonna not take as long when you're not talking to somebody, but it doesn't take too long, and it looks great. It's not too much, but you have enough on that makes you feel good, makes you feel like you look pretty, and it's just great. These are the steps that I go through. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did enjoy it, please give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you. Bye.